So who are you voting for, Donald or Kamala? Chances are that question has triggered you already. How do you feel about gun control, abortion, gender identity? Are we evolving as a species, or is the world going down the tubes? Here's something I know. You and I need peace. I don't mean world peace, although that would be nice. Someday, but not yet. But all this turmoil can live outside of us if we learn to cultivate peace in ourselves, in here and in here. And it's not just a nice wish or a luxury. It's vital if we're going to survive, let alone thrive. Make no mistake, there's an enemy, a force out there that sows chaos, that feeds on our division and our anger. The news outlets, social media, these intentionally seek to bring about discord, fear, and anger. I see it as a spirit that is feeding on us, intentionally stirring us up to create darkness. How do you feel about being manipulated, rounded up like cattle, so some evil forces can consume your mind and soul? It pisses me off. And I don't mean to imply that life should be happy and easy. It certainly won't be most of the time. But there's so many opportunities to cultivate peace, dignity, and well-being within ourselves. And sometimes this is a hard line to navigate because, of course, we have an obligation to be up to date on world news, to exercise our rights and responsibilities to vote on our leadership. We don't want to be naive with our heads in the sand. So how do we remain engaged with the world around us and yet live with peace in our hearts and in our homes? I can only share some of the things that help me. At first is the awareness that I've already mentioned, that there is an intentional force seeking to steal peace from us constantly. And in the same way that if you know that there's a burglar lurking outside your house, you'll be paying attention. You'll be on your guard to protect your home and family. The world is a battleground, but not everybody is called to be a warrior, a protester out in the streets, although that does have its place. But neither do you have to be sitting in front of your TV pulling your hair out. It may seem counterintuitive, but sometimes going overboard in righteous outrage can actually play into the hands of the agents of chaos. Now, I don't condone escaping our responsibility, but rather pulling back enough so that fear and chaos doesn't have mastery over us, and we end up contributing to the divisiveness. Another thing that helps me is the deathbed mindset. And as morbid as that may sound, thinking about what is going to matter to us at the end of our lives can really help steer our thoughts to things of real significance and shut out some of the noise and stress that consumes our everyday. Living unselfishly and doing good, whether that's volunteering or just making it a life habit of uplifting other people, is a phenomenal way to de-stress and empower us. And conversely, looking out for number one all the time will have the opposite effect. My number one go-to for peace is my faith in a higher power, and my conviction that that higher power is good and will always win in the end, no matter who's president, no matter what policies we are for or against, or what stupidity the current culture is embracing. I want to emphasize that having peace in your mind and in your heart is not the same as having no struggles. In the same way that wars sometimes have to be fought to bring peace to a people, we sometimes have to fight a war within ourselves to actually achieve peace. In World War II, there were some people who allied themselves with the Nazis simply because they were afraid. And in the end, they did not fare well. So as paradoxical as it may sound, sometimes we have to fight for peace. But the peace that comes from victory is so much deeper and more meaningful than the false peace that comes from surrender. Peace also comes from having strength and assurance within ourselves, in the same way that a strong man, capable of defending himself and projecting his power when the need arises, is usually not easily provoked. And conversely, people who are insecure and defensive can be quick to be triggered and angered. Self-development and growth in mind, body, and spirit go a long ways towards promoting inner peace. Is there a battle in your life that needs to be fought? Of course there is. There is in everybody's life. So I want to encourage you to gear up, set yourself up for the win, and fight the fight. Cultivate peace in your life. Enough to share. You need it. The world needs it. Peace out.